Stellar Blade has become a symbol in the fight against wokeism. Despite the backlash that this game is receiving, it seems that the developers' shift up isn't going to leave anything compromise their original vision for the game. Whether that is giving Eve a butt simply because they like looking at big butts, or firing those nasty feminists that tried to change the game. But there is one controversy that has sort of flown underneath the radar, and it's one that I believe that when the game comes out will once again rear its ugly head, and it has to do with Stellar Blade allegedly being racist. In today's video, we are going to be talking about a potential Stellar Blade controversy that we may see in the future and more. When I watched the Stellar Blade trailer, my first thoughts about it was simply, oh no, here we go again. But the reason why I was thinking this didn't have anything to do with Eve actually looking attractive, which if you know anything about the controversy surrounding Stellar Blade, you'd know certain people were calling it sexist because Eve actually looks like a woman. Instead, it had to do with one little word that could be spotted in the trailer, and that word was natives. After seeing it pop up in the trailer, I could already picture the headlines that sites like Kotaku and The Gamer would put out when this game was released. After all, it wouldn't exactly be unlike them to try to paint a game as racist. With the state of play trailer we got for Stellar Blade, we do see that the word native is pronounced differently, but I honestly think that it isn't really going to change anything when it comes to these sites. With the Gamergate 2.0 coming down on us because of the whole situation with Sweet Baby Inc., the video game industry is in a very woke place. This controversy about Stellar Blade being racist actually started back in 2021 when GameRant put out an article titled "Project Eve's Natives May Send the Wrong Message." A month or so ago, this article started circling around Twitter again, and it made me want to make a video about it. But my life has been pretty busy, so a month later, here we finally are. This article by GameRant is just pretty much saying how bad it is to give these enemies the name of native, considering this alien race were a group of invaders. Thankfully, there hasn't been many other articles like this that have popped up, but I am sure that will change when the game comes out. We are going to see certain gaming sites claiming that the enemies are racist. These journalists will probably look for any similarities that these aliens have to native people and complain about it. It's honestly just going to be the stuff we've already seen before and have come to expect. But if you do not believe that this is the case, that nobody would be that stupid to be offended about this stuff, let me remind you that The Gamer posted an article saying that Resident Evil 5 was too racist for a remake. To sum this article up, the writer thought Chris Redfield killing a bunch of infected that happened to be black was a bad thing, even though Chris was in Africa. They also had a problem with the swamp section of Resident Evil 5 where we encounter a primitive tribe. Once again, this was apparently racist to these people who look for racism in every little thing. With the hype that is around Stellar Blade and the game essentially becoming a rallying cry against the cancer that is wokeism, these sites are going to do whatever they can to demonize this game. More so since the reality of another Gamergate is just around the corner. Anybody with 2 brain cells would know how stupid it is to try to call this game racist based on the name of an enemy, especially if, like me, you believe that the name might actually be a very important story detail. We know in Stellar Blade that most of the humans had to evacuate Earth because of these invaders, and Eve, with a few other people, are sent back there in order to reclaim it for humanity. But I have a feeling that the Nativia are actually the original inhabitants of Earth, hence the reason the name is spelt the way it is. The game has a lot of religious symbolism in it. We see the main character named Eve and her male companion named Adam. Some of the Nativia resemble creatures that we see in the Bible, one of which I think is clearly inspired by the Leviathan. We see this huge creature which seems to be causing havoc on a dried up seabed / the shore of a beach. The humans that ended up leaving Earth are also referenced as the Great Ones, while those that stayed are considered abandoned. People are drawn to the conclusion that this could be referring to a rapture-like event, where the ones who were deemed worthy enough were able to leave Earth, and those who were not were forced to stay and witness the destruction of everything they loved. Honestly, I think this is a pretty solid analysis with the information we have about Stellar Blade. One thing that I will point to that I don't think anybody else picked up on has to do with Adam. Adam was born on Earth. It doesn't exactly tell us how old he was when he fled, but if you know anything about the Rapture, you might be familiar with something called the 7 years of tribulation. It's pretty much 7 years of complete anarchy, where everyone on Earth will suffer, and it will eventually lead to the final confrontation between Jesus and Satan. But some people believe that before the 7 years of tribulation happens, that Christians will be raptured. Now you might think that I am just rambling on, but this bit of information might give us a bit of a time frame about when all of this stuff went down. The rapture-like event in the game could have happened 7 years before, and Eve and her companions are about to put an end to the tribulation, which would be the Nativia invaders. One of Eve's companions is also named Lily, which is another reference to the Bible. For those who may not know, in the Bible, Lilith was the first wife of Adam, and after refusing some stuff, like being on the bottom when things got a little bit frisky between them, she fled the Garden of Eden. The angels ended up chasing her down, and long story short, she became the mother of the succubi. The story of Lilith could tell us a bit about the character Lily in the game. I wouldn't be surprised if she was voluntold that she was going to Earth after she had done something that was deemed a great offense. One of the very first bosses we see too is called Abaddon, which for those who do not know is the name of the angel of the abyss in Revelations. The reason why I'm listing off all of this religious symbolism we've seen in the game trailers isn't because I'm some sort of religious nut, even though I find mythology a very interesting subject, but rather it's to get back to the main subject of this video, and that is the Nativias. I said earlier that I believe that the Nativia were the original inhabitants of Earth, which is why their name is spelled like natives. From the design of these creatures, we know they look monstrous. In fact, some of them even look like the description of angels in the Bible. But I do not think they are angels, at least not entirely. I would say that they were more like fallen angels or demons. My evidence to back this up is all of the biblical references that we have seen, and the fact that Eve's mission is to save Earth by killing the elder Nativia. Circling back to the whole 7 years of tribulation part of my video, it could very well be that the elder Nativia is a Lucifer figure, and the reason why Nativia is spelled like natives is because they were the original natives of Earth, but because of some unforeseen circumstances, they might have been forced underground only to resurface. Perhaps they had fallen out of favor with whatever faction at the time ruled over Earth. This, of course, would be playing into the whole Bible thing once again, where underground could be a reference to hell, and them being forced there being a reference to what happened to Lucifer after his rebellion. Even though Nativia is spelt like natives, we know it is not pronounced like so. But even though it is not pronounced like native, I think sites are going to be trying to stir up controversy by calling this racist. Of course, we all know the people who will complain about these things. The majority of the time, it is white people who cannot go a single day without their Starbucks. I had a lot of fun doing this video. It took a different direction than what I originally envisioned for it. I didn't expect to be talking about the Bible as much as I did, but hey, it was a fun time writing this script and learning about all of these references. If you learned any new pieces of information about Stellar Blade, why not show some support by hitting that like, subscribe, and notification bell. I am hoping to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of May, so any help at all is muchly appreciated. I hope all of you guys have an amazing and wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.